Okay, we've got a fantastic panel of really unique individuals here. They each, in their own right, are incentive travel experts, delivering programs with customers from all over the world, both inbound and outbound perspectives. And it's a real honor to have you here on the stage. I think if we could, let's just go through. Atika, if you could start off with a quick 2-minute introduction, then Chris, then Raj.
Thank you, David, for inviting me to be part of the panel discussion here. My name is Atika. I'm Managing Director of Beyond Events in Asia. We do MICE across the region of Asia. Yeah, that's about it. Over to you.
Okay. Hello. Probably I have the most difficult name, so I make it easier. I'm Chris. I'm from Poland. I'm the CEO of Incentive Concept Poland. I have more than 20 years experience in the meetings industry, incentive travel industry. I've been also the founder and first president of SITE Poland and also international board of directors of SITE. Just my short resume.
Over to you, Raj.
So thank you so much, David. I also want to thank ITB Asia for bringing me on board today for this panel. My name is Raj Kumar, and I represent a company called IPC Group. I've been in the industry for only 38 years. Only 38 years. So that's how long I've been in the industry.
I can't believe.
Thank you so much. Even my wife cannot believe.
Looks very young.
So I think I'm going to head the line over back to David. I think David is doing a fantastic job. I enjoyed your talk.
Thank you. Yeah, so I've introduced myself already. I have an incentive agency in South Africa, 30 years plus minus, and our corporate clientele is across automotive, insurance, banking, pharmaceutical, FMCG, and tech companies. So I think one of the amazing things for me is consulting into different industry verticals, understanding the nuances of different industries, different clientele, and it's always been an emerging componentry. I think, so yeah, I will come and talk a little bit longer, but I also want to thank Andreas. Andreas, do you want to just come quickly on the stage? Andreas has sponsored this. He is the CEO of EVINTRA. He hates being in the spotlight, but I do want to quickly call you on. Come. Andy, maybe you could just quickly introduce EVINTRA. It's when it was founded and what it does to add value to this wonderful industry.
Okay. Thank you very much, David. Yes, I'm Andreas Thoelken, the CEO of EVINTRA. We are actually a first-time and proud partner of the conference program with ITB. We are also media partner and host a buyer program partner for many years. So we bring buyer to this show and to 64 other exhibitions this year in 42 countries. And EVINTRA itself, the core of our business, is basically a free-of-charge online directory. You can think of it as an online exhibition, the online version of ITB and all the big shows that are out there, which everyone can use completely free of charge. It has 238,000 members in 187 countries. So most of the people here, most of the exhibitors, I guess you can find on our homepage as well. And you can attend with us the fairs as hosted buyer or as well as exhibitor. That's basically what we do. And David Sand actually was our first investor in our company like 15 years ago or something. So we go back a long time, and I'm very happy he was able to join our first ever content program and one of the fairs we're involved in. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Andy. Just remind me, of all the hosted buyers that were at IMEX Las Vegas, how many did you bring through EVINTRA to the show?
So yeah, we just came from IMEX Las Vegas last week. So there was 6,900 hosted buyers in total at the show, and 4,624 of them had been active members in EVINTRA. So it's on average around 50% of the buyers attending the 60 biggest shows that we are involved in, like IMEX, IBTM, WTM, ATM, ITB, are already member in our network.
Fantastic. Andy, thanks for joining us on stage. Appreciate it. Okay. Atika, could we start with you? I asked you to develop your thoughts on 2 areas of this industry that you're passionate about, and how from your particular geographical region of the world that makes an impact, and on how you do things and how you view things.
This is not just work-wise, but it's also very personal to me, why I choose this job and why I am here after 15 years. And thank you for posing that question. It took me one day of actually internalizing, and it's really important to be reminded why we are here and why we are doing what we do. So, so what excites me the most about incentive travel, especially through the lens of Asia, is how it has evolved from reward trips to a powerful storytelling experience that connects cultures, companies on a deeper human level. So we are talking more like human to human, culture to culture. And I think this is transforming incentive travel with a heartbeat. So I think you mentioned 2 or 3 points, right? So I thought about it, and I'm gonna be real quick. Number 1 is sustainability with sincerity. Sustainability is no longer an eco checklist anymore. It's actually, in Asia, we are super lucky. There's so many things and activities that we can propose that has impact on local cultures, local community, and the environment. So for example, in Bali, other than being on a Volkswagen on a mountain volcano, what we could actually do is support the local artists in the village in Bali, or in the Philippines, we can do coral reforestation to help the marine diversity, so that's environmental. And in Kyoto, Japan, we can actually help preserve the culture. So these are the different types of sustainability that has meaning, and if you're on the ground with your delegates and your CEOs doing something meaningful compared to a team building on the beach, I think this will resonate more emotionally to the delegates, and by then it will always be in their memory because they know they did something meaningful. Second is tech and human connection. So obviously with AI, data automation, it makes our job as an event planner super easy to custom, tailor-make guest experiences. But in Asia, what I love about it is that we have so many different culture and different values. For example, in Japan, they value precision, timeliness. And tech can be, can elevate that and make that happen and translate it into a successful event. But in Southeast Asia, we love warmth, connection, laughter in a conference, for example. And you don't need to have that much tech going on. So just balancing human and tech. The point is technology should always amplify the human connection and events. Last but not least is cultural intelligence. I think this is the most important part, especially in Asia. It's like the best playground that excites me because 2 hours we have Thailand, 2 hours by flight we have Indonesia, you have Borneo. So there's so many cultural differences and values that we can translate into storytelling. So just to close this, I think the future of incentives will belong to those who can design not just trips, but transform, where every journey inspires a shift in the mindset of delegates.
Fantastic.
Thank you again for this question. I love it.
I love that, yes. If there's anybody that has a question during, just put your hand up. I'll try and then direct the questions so that it's kind of more interactive than us just talking at you. So if anybody has a question for Atika, just raise your hand and we'll bring you a mic. Okay?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Hi, thank you. Nice to see you here, Atika. Yeah, I see that you are talking about Asia and Southeast Asia, and also about the event that you have done, which is quite exciting. But I think you forget Cambodia.
Actually, because Asia is so big, I unfortunately haven't had a lot of experience in Cambodia, but I think Cambodia is something on the map, and within Cambodia, there's so many cultures and values as well. So 100% like this will be another destination that corporate clients are looking at because, Thailand, Vietnam and all that, they're always looking at new destinations. And I think Cambodia is one of the hot destinations.
I'm quite excited about it, and I'm looking forward. And I'm just here. I'm a local DMC from Cambodia, and then we can talk after talk show.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, I think 3 very, very good points. One of the things that resonated with me was really this sort of experience that is meaningful in a destination that's either linked to community or a sustainability-related thing. And I think leaders often talk the good talk, but when they are seen to be doing it on an event or an incentive in front of their teams, it becomes a whole nother lived experience. So it's a wonderful opportunity for leadership to display their commitment to something like sustainability or CSR. And every single one of those CSR or sustainability type of immersive experiences that I've personally done, I've remembered. I've not necessarily remembered all the temples that I've visited or the museums or those kind of things, but a simple thing like planting trees outside Munich on an event, which I never thought I'd do, I remember those things. And
I think it's because it's emotional, there's meaning, and
Yes.
that's why you always remember it.
Right. And I think there's a great opportunity to weave good stories into that space. Chris, I see you ready, man. You're so ready.
So
Let's give Chris a hand for that outfit. I mean, come on, eh? What an outfit.
David, thank you very much for the invitation. So I can't agree more. So I'm coming from Poland, from Central Europe. So from our perspective, we are living in very challenging time. A lot of pressure, economic pressure, the war between Ukraine and Russia, migration. So many factors we are affected, but it's very challenging time. But from other side, is lots of opportunities. It's nice time to take this opportunity. I think I agree with you. I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about the future of incentive travel, there's 3 main factors. Sustainability is no anymore nice to have. It's no anymore the trend. It's must to have. This is kind of obligation. Every program we designed must leave something good for the planet, something good for the people, something good for the local community. And then, I don't know if we have time, for example, we are not talking about big stuff. The simple little things like instead of plastic bottles, use the reusable bottles. Simple stuff, but great change. The second, when we are talking about incentive travel, it's not anymore about reward and awards. It's not anymore about luxury. It's about purpose. It's about meaning. It's about change. Everybody would like to feel better. Everybody would like to be connected to others. Everybody would like to be part of something big. So transformation journeys. At the end of the journeys, we are better human. And the third, of course, technology and AI. Technology helps us to better understand motivation. Technology helps us to design personal experiences. And technology helps us to measure impact. Very simple, very important. Sustainability, transformation, technology. This is three factors in the close future which create our incentive travel world. I think this is the main factors. We don't need to forget about this.
Brilliant. Any questions for Chris at this stage? Ideas that pop?
Don't be afraid. I'm Mr. Shy.
Chris, tell
you
me.
have the question.
There's a question. No?
Yeah. Don't be afraid.
Okay, Chris, I'm gonna hit you with a question. Okay. We live in this world now that is almost at the tipping point of being overloaded with technology, AI, always on, now. In 3 years' time, when the AI wave has hit us even harder, where are we going to be? And what does that mean for an incentive or a meeting planner? What are we going to have to do to help people get out of that world and into real life and have a real purposeful experience?
Great question, David. I like this question. So I also mentioned about technology, which helps us to understand motivation, help us to design the personal experiences, and also help us to measure the impact. But the real magic is made by people, not technology. This is the answer. This is a simple answer. People, not technology. That technology is just a tool helping us to do different things.
Phenomenal. I actually sat in the bus chatting to a fellow that his whole business is designed to help completely 100% virtual companies come together in a meaningful way and connect. And I was so interested in this concept of his because he was saying that these digital native companies with workforces all over the planet, if they don't bring their people together, they can't build culture. They can't really build real meaningful connection. And he's built a whole business around this and how to use the time together in a way that inspires, educates, connects, and builds culture. And I think we're going to see more and more of that going down the line, and it's a bigger opportunity for us as incentive and meetings professionals.
So I'm maybe old-fashioned, but nothing replaces the face-to-face meeting. So the humans, the people, they are the most important factor in our industry. Without people, even great company with the great AI tools never replace the human being.
100%. Okay. Raj, what were your points that you wanted to bring up?
So it's going to be a bit difficult for me because my colleague has said exactly what I have in mind. Okay. But something more interesting is I'm so happy that we are all aligned on the topic. You know, customer service cannot be replaced by AI or technology. It is something, customer service is something is man-handled. You know, we in Singapore, our company's name is IPC Group, and our tagline is "We are a family." And that bonding that you get from a family, you cannot get from the technology, you know. It's something close to heart. And you know, we have handled 800 lawyers recently. Can you believe 800 lawyers is a lot of people? And not easy handling 1 or 2 lawyers now. Imagine 800 lawyers. But you know what? Today, they are our valued clients. They come back for more because of the customer service skill that they cannot get from tech or AI. So I think I agree with my colleagues. I think it is about ourselves, how we respond to problem-solving skills, how we articulate our story to our customers. I think it is about the experience we set for them. Now, also adding on to what both of them said, I also want to touch base on the topic on mental wellness. A lot of people nowadays, trouble, as what my colleague said earlier. The world is changing. We are going through a paradigm shift. So at this juncture, what we need is a mental relaxation. So what we do is in all our incentive trips, we're trying to embed a component of mental wellness.
Wonderful.
We do that because it's not that we want to, but I think it's about time that we have to.
We have to.
We have to. That's the statement. We have to. And that brings us back to people, and people wants to work because we are like McDonald's, every week we got a new promotion coming up. We keep ourselves going. I think it is how we cope up with the technology. We keep ourselves with the interest. I came from an era where people used to use fax for communication, fax machines. Today we are into another era. So we need to keep ourselves going. I can't stick on to the fax machine. So I really like the topic, and I hope I answered to your question. And regarding this, our friend from Cambodia, we need to talk. We have a lot of groups going to Nagaland. We will discuss.
Yeah. Brilliant. This whole issue of mental health and wellness, it's taken the wellness component and it's become very specific around mental health. This year, I have become more aware of the tragedy and the crisis that the human condition is in at the moment. Within my first and second circle of friendship, 4 suicides this year of men my age, in their late 50s. Can you believe how tragic that is? And it's really made the component of it so key. And I think on these programs that we put together for groups of people, whether they're lawyers or doctors or bankers or sales guys that sell tires, everybody is struggling to cope with this busyness, the intensity of everything going on. And these are moments that we can use and set up as oases of opportunity to talk about mental health and provide some kind of space for unplugging and relaxing and getting the balance right. Totally. You want to talk to that a bit more?
So David, I totally agree with what you just said. Now, very interestingly, the review or the feedback we get from the audience that we bring on board, they come back, they're happier, which translate to productivity, which eventually translate back to profitability to the company. So I think happiness is a very important component that we should not forgo, and we have to embed this. Money cannot replace happiness. You all agree, right? So money cannot replace happiness. Money is, of course, is important, but I think without happiness, there is nothing else left. So I think this is interesting. People are very happy. I lose a lot of people over COVID, because of mental health. They're all from the industries, and we have to thank God for being alive today in the industry and sitting down, really, and talking to an audience. I'm feeling very honored, and we treasure every moment that we have. Yep. We came through a difficult time in COVID. We were taught a very difficult lesson, but what keeps us going is the resilience in us. Each of us are very resilient in what we build, and we believe in the industry. That's why even we have newcomers that I really encourage them to come to the industry.
Yep. Do we have any comments or questions from the audience on that point? There we go. Could you please bring a mic, please?
So finally, yes.
Hello. Okay. Hi. Okay. So, it's 2 questions. With how you mentioned about AI and also mental wellness in the near future, how do you see tourism, implementing AI and mental wellness into one? Because with incentives like that, and in a way, it helps the employees. It boosts them, or any sort, like if they're ever having some mental wellness issues. So how would you see AI and mental wellness and tourism collaborating together?
I will take it. I already mentioned, AI helps us to understand motivation. So it means we know what motivates participants of the incentive program. AI helps us to create personal experience. So we know exactly what they are expecting, how to prepare it. And finally, AI helps us to measure the impact. They are very simple steps. We know what motivates audience. We know how to prepare for them the personal experience, and we know how to measure it. This is what AI can
Thanks, Chris.
give us.
Cool. Raj, do you want to just add something on that?
I just want to add one more, that what we do is we actually have started using virtual reality. Virtual reality, part of this AI, our advancement in keeping that audience happy and excited.
Wow.
I don't think we have enough time to discuss on that now, but
Okay.
anyone who's interested can meet me personally after, and I can explain to you how we embed virtual reality in keeping ourselves going in the industry.
Okay. Atika, your view on this subject?
I think AI, we should utilize it instead of them utilizing us.
Right.
Utilize them in a way where understand them, always be curious. It's a machine learning tool that you can use in different problems to solve. So actually, tomorrow I'll have a talk about AI, intelligence, and meetings and events at 12:30 with Eddie, an AI engineer. So I think we can entertain more questions on that topic tomorrow if you like.
Fantastic. I think one of my thoughts, and this is a personal one, I have one of those Garmin watches that tell me a little bit about my body state. And in a way, that's AI telling me some key indicators about where I am on a stress spectrum. I then use another app to do meditation. So the meditation component, weirdly enough, is just listening to an audio voice talking to me about breathing and being present and all those good things. And then I switch that off, and then I continue on my own. But it's that first prompt by the technology, careful you're stressed. Second prompt, go into a breathing exercise. It helps me. And then thirdly, I go, oh, that was pretty good. I'm feeling a lot better, okay? So to your point, these are tools that we must use to enhance our life and lifestyle. And I think there are some really cool things coming, and we don't have to be scared of anything in the space. I think for meeting planners and incentive planners, the creative energy still needs to be brought to the table on how do we use these in a modern, different way within a program. So when you're planning and designing a program, when do you bring this in? How do you bring it in? Why do we bring it in? And we're not just putting bums in seats on an aircraft and bodies in beds in hotels, but we're becoming a lot more thinking orientated on what we do with people when we've got them together. And I was trying to bring that through in my speech, is that it's not just about doing the things that we do. We've got to be more intentional. We've got to dream bigger. We've got to dream differently. we've got to think about the people that we got in our care and how can we add beauty and life and goodness into their lives so that when they come out of the experience, they are happier, more relaxed, more creative, and they go away and they tell people, hundreds of other people, about the phenomenal experience they have in Borneo or Cambodia or Vietnam, and the ball then rolls. If we do our job phenomenally well, we can impact the world so much better. And we've got to sometimes slow down to speed up. And that slowing down is stop, reflect. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? And I really urge everybody that's in this industry to do that, because if we're just on the treadmill all the time, we never get a chance to think, right? Thinking is not doing, and doing is not thinking. You have to stop to think and plan and create, right? So, okay. Any more questions or comments? We'd love to hear from you. Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone. I'm running DMC in Japan. I have a question regarding the AI. So AI is replacing the many salesperson, right? And the incentives are basically for the high achiever for insurance or banking industry. Do you observe any transition of the client demographics? Maybe they don't have much salesperson anymore, right? In this case, what would be the next demographics, or what would be the
Yes.
Great
question.
The expected activities, etc. Do you have any insight about this?
Yeah. So I'd love to answer that and then throw it open to the panel. I think the changing dynamics of the workplace and what people do. So a lot of sales teams have been replaced by funnels and Google ads and all sorts of things, and the conversion of clients. So smaller sales teams, but sales teams nonetheless that run and drive that. And I think we're going to see in the next 3 or 4 years a radical shift in how many lawyers there are and how many accountants there are and how many salespeople there are. So that landscape is going to shift, and the demographic, not only in job categories, but people within them and the skill levels. So that's going to be an important factor to deal with going forward. But I think there are always going to be people in the mix. On the incentive side, we have a long time ago moved from just the focus on salespeople to across the organizational spectrum. So salespeople and admin and back office and HR and finance and everybody in the team can qualify to be on the incentive program or being involved in an employee recognition and reward program, okay? And that may or may not culminate in incentive travel, but very often it does. Anybody else want to add to that? Thoughts? Okay, we're out of time, but let's take 1 or 2 additional questions and then a wrap up. Maybe let's start with Chris, Atika, Raj, wrap up. Okay, go for it. Just to wrap up, we don't have chance for the second question here.
When we are thinking about the future, when we are thinking about the main factors which shape the future of incentive travel, is of course, sustainability. The second, transformation. And the third, technology and AI. Okay, it's more factors, but these 3 main factors will shape our near incentive travel future. And finally, don't forget, even you use AI, finally, the magic, real magic, is created by people, not AI.
Atika.
I think in a world that changes faster than a flight schedule, it's about the leadership that will shape the future of incentive travel. And the best leaders do not control, they co-create. I think you mentioned this in your speech. It's not about having the perfect plan. It's about walking with your team through uncertainty, listening more than leading, staying human in a world racing towards automation. So putting the heart back into efficiency and programs.
Love it. Raj.
So, really, I like the way things are going. Now, I want to make this really simple. I think what is important is, don't compete with AI, complement with AI, and get your business going. Try, some food for thought. Keep things immersive, engaging, and interactive as possible. I think the industry has a lot to offer. The tourism, incentive part of the tourism will only get better from here with AI tools. So how we embrace it and change this into a new revolution of travel. So that's all.
Phenomenal. Chris, you wanted to say, are you going to sing a song for us?
I think he looks like Elton John to me.
Not yet. Maybe
Not yet.
later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and spending your time with us. If there's any one last question, we'll take it. If not, we're going to have a networking event now. Feel free to enjoy and interact with each of the speakers, please. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
David.